Congratulations on purchasing the best mechanical broadheads on the market, SEVR Broadheads. We're going to kind of walk you through the unboxing process of this and kind of show you the ins and outs of what comes in each box. So in the box, we'll have our broadheads, an instructional sheet, as well as a wedge tool that comes with every purchase of a broadhead. I'm going to show you how all that works. In the lid of each broadhead, you're going to find a set screw that's going to put it into practice lock, as well as 2 additional O-rings, including the one that's already installed on the broadhead. So that's where they're going to be found when you open your package. One of my favorite features about SEVR Broadheads is the fact that you can put each head into a practice lock. So you're shooting the exact same head that you're going to hunt with down the road. The confidence you get is just unmatched. So I'm going to kind of go through that process of how to do that. So in the lid, like I said, there's going to be a set screw that's going to allow that to go into practice lock. You're going to take the Allen key, which is a .050 Allen key, out of the bag that's with that wedge tool kit. You're going to take that set screw, and you have that bottom hole right there. That's going to take that set screw. You're going to thread that down until it sits flush, and that allows for that head to not open up. And then you can shoot it into a target as many times as you want to, verify where you're hitting, get all that confidence before you hit the woods. I get a lot of questions, why SEVR? So I'm just going to kind of go over some of the really cool features that we have that I think really separates us from the competition. And the first one is going to be our stretch cut technology. So how that works is when this broadhead enters, it allows for that skin to recess just slightly before the blade activation arms start to deploy, and allowing a larger than advertised cut. We're seeing a lot of photos from customers that are 2.5, 3-inch cut on that main, and it's just allowing for a bigger entrance hole, faster blood trails, quicker recovery of the animal. One of my other favorite features of this broadhead is as soon as it locks out, we have a patent on this, and it's our lock and pivot technology. So that allows for that blade to rotate around the bone as it's going through the animal. So if you come across the rib bone, instead of it wanting to deflect off, this blade actually just goes out of the way. As soon as it gets past, the pressure realigns it on that center point, allowing it to go straight through the animal. Hence where we get the tagline, SEVR straight through it. One of my other favorite features of this broadhead is the fact that you can actually put a practice lock screw in this and use this broadhead as a practice tip. We're one of the only ones out there that does this, and I think it allows for the best confidence going into the field because you know 100% when you draw back on that animal where that broadhead's going to hit. One of my other favorite features about SEVR Broadheads is the fact that these titanium ferrules are so durable that we offer replacement blade kits because these things are going to last a long time. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to replace these blades right now. So in each SEVR replacement blade kit, we're going to offer 3 sets of blades that will replace 3 full heads, enough set screws to replace the pivot screw as well as the practice lock screw, and brand new wave washers. So first step on replacing this is you're going to want to line up all the parts that you're going to be using to replace, and then take your existing broadhead with the Allen key provided, and you're going to remove that top screw, and that's going to get that pivot screw out of there, allowing for these blades to just pop out. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So once that is out, these blades will just pop on out. You're just going to slide those off to the side there. What a lot of guys will do too is they'll hold on to an old set of blades and put it in their broadheads when they're practicing with it in the summertime, which allows you to not beating up brand new blades, and you can actually kind of reutilize those used blades. So first step that I like to do is I'm going to take the blades and stack them in their proper order. So the way this works, it's a little tricky at first. And what I'll do is I'll kind of study the broadhead before I take it apart. I've been doing it a long time, so I kind of know them in and out, but see how they go together. So what I'm going to do here, is you're going to line the blades up where it looks like they're going to be inside that ferrule. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of slide and position these inside the ferrule. So now you got the blades lined up inside there. And what I like to do is use the Allen key to kind of ream that hole out. And this is kind of a little bit of a trick, but if you want to, you can take one of the extra set screws and put it through the practice lock, and that allows for these blades to not want to slide around as much inside there. This is kind of one of those, little tips that I have for you guys that are struggle with replacing these blades. So once you have that practice lock screw in there, you can see how it wants to hold the blades in a little bit more, allow it for not wanting to slide out. And this is when I'll put the washer in. So the washer, you're gonna see has a little cup on it. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of small. You're gonna want that cup to face upwards into the ferrule. So I'm gonna put that in right now for you guys. You're just gonna slide that between the blade and the ferrule, just like that. And then I'm also gonna take that Allen key and kind of ream that hole out before I put the set screw in for the pivoting part of it. You can see I've got that hole in there now. Now I'm going to take the pivot screw and put that down in, and then you can remove the practice lock screw and you're ready to roll. So we've got that on. Now I can remove that practice lock screw, which I use to kind of hold the blades in there, make it a little bit easier for you guys. Take that out, make sure she locks, and you're ready to roll. And lastly, I've got some tips and tricks to honestly make your experience the best ever with SEVR. So the first one is, and I've gotten this call a couple times, before you hit the field, make sure your practice lock screw is out. They still kill deer, but they don't do the job the way they're supposed to. Another question I get a lot is the O-ring has to be installed for hunting. During practice lock, you don't necessarily need the O-ring on there as the set screw retains the blades. But in a hunting situation, you do need that silicone O-ring placed inside the trough that we have designed for that, as that keeps the blades retained during flight. Once it hits the animal, O-ring will expand, opening up inside the animal. Kind of wanted to talk about the targets that we suggest to shoot in. I know these things shoot like a field point, but you can't shoot them in the bag targets that are meant for field points only. It can damage the blades on here, as those are self-healing and aren't ideal for shooting broadheads into. We do offer our SEVR 21-inch HD target at SEVRBroadheads.com. This is a really stout target. You can get a ton of use out of this thing. Ideal for shooting broadheads at. So lastly, I want to talk about putting these things into your quiver. We do offer our tight spot quiver that's going to have no foam in the hood, allowing for these broadheads just to seat in there. No issues of pre-deployment or anything like that. If you do have a quiver that has foam in there, kind of like the Matthews, Hoyt, some of the other kind of main manufacturers out there, what we suggest is that you actually cut an extra slit in there, allowing these deployment arms to just slide up in with ease, not wanting to pre-deploy, potentially ruin a hunt for you. Casey with SEVR, thank you for watching.